Okay, so my ghouls and goblins, I purchased this 5-minute Halloween storybook off of betterworldbooks.com. Thank you, Sonic. And I'm going to read the first story to you tonight because I like ending things in even videos. And I have not read from this book yet. So, 5-minute Halloween stories. Ooh. Let's read the first story, shall we? This is how many stories is in this book. Okay. The first story is called The Princess and the Frog, Tiana's Ghost. Halloween night in New Orleans began with a rusty orange sunset. Rusty orange sunset, not a rusty orange cat, Sonic. But they were probably thinking of you. The sun looks just like a big old pumpkin, Tiana said, standing in the doorway of a restaurant. It's all right. It's perfect for Halloween, her friend Charlotte said, flouncing up in a little Bo Peep costume. And look, those little fluffy clouds look just like the vision hats. Oh, goodness. We're having too much fun reading this 5-minute story. It may take us 10 minutes. Okay. Tiana scowled. Why the frown, sugar? Charlotte asked. Don't you love Halloween? I do, Tiana said. It's just there's been some weird stuff going on today. You reminded me about it when you mentioned the bigonettes. Weird bigonette stuff? Charlotte asked, laughing. Only you would have a pastry mystery on Halloween, Tiana. I need to read this page, Sonic. Tiana shook her head. It's probably nothing. I made a special batch of them for my Halloween party tonight, and they all have gone missing. Charlotte smiled. You know, they say the spirits walk on the earth on Halloween. Maybe the ones causing the mischief, she teased. Tiana laughed, but she wondered if maybe Charlotte was right. We have one inspired Sonic here. Tiana knew spirits were real. She'd seen them during her adventure as a frog. I sure hope it's not ghosts, she thought nervously. Just then, something flustered in the edge of her vision, but when she spun around, nothing was there. Did you see that? Tiana said. See what? Charlotte asked. Tiana, get your hat. Let's go. We have pumpkins to carve, apples to bob for, a party to throw. Tiana smiled, shrugging off her nerves. Okay, she said. I'm ready. One moment. First, Tiana and Charlotte went to the Halloween fest at the farmer's market to carve pumpkins, but just as Tiana was putting the finishing touches on their pumpkin, she saw something strange out of the corner of her eye. Yeah, she did. What was that? Charlotte said, dropping their pumpkin, but it was already gone. You saw it too? Tiana asked. I saw something, Charlotte said. She looked a little spooked. Now, next, the friends were bobbing for apples, but as Tiana came up for air, she saw Charlotte shrieked. She saw it too. The little wisp of white was gone as quickly as it appeared. Tiana and Charlotte stared at each other. I'm pretty sure you're being haunted, sweetie, Charlotte told Tiana. I wish you could see Sonic putting his paw on my arm. Here we go. As Tiana and Charlotte walked back to the restaurant, Tiana kept peering over her shoulder. She couldn't shake that feeling that there was something following her. but it always disappeared before she could get a look. Tiana did her best to ignore the flutters as she settled into her restaurant kitchen. She needed to work on finding the touches for her big Halloween party. The first step was to replace those missing bigonettes. Sorry, you're getting a close-up. Okay. Tiana sprinkling powdered sugar over the fresh bigonettes when the lights went out in the kitchen, flickered and went out. Crashes and shouts, surprises sounded from every direction as Tiana's staff blundered through each other in the dark. Tiana clutched her basket of bigonettes tightly. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. Swish! Something brushed her hand. Okay. As suddenly the lights had gone off, they came back on again. Tiana, what on earth? Charlotte cried, running into the kitchen. Is everyone all right? Tiana looked around, and her staff nodded shakily. There was no sign of whatsoever had touched her hand, but several of the bigonettes were missing. Tiana had just about enough. Why is this ghost haunting me? Hold on a second. We're having a technical difficulty. There we go. Why is this ghost haunting me? She asked Charlotte. New Orleans is full of people. What's so special about me? Well, Charlotte said thoughtfully, you do make the best bigonettes in all of New Orleans. Maybe this ghost is just hungry. There's only one way to find out, Tiana said. She rolled up her sleeves and got to work on the biggest, tastiest batch of bigonettes she ever made. As soon as the bigonettes were done, Tiana and Charlotte left the treats in a basket at the restaurant's kitchen back door. They snuck around the corner to watch. They waited and they waited. Just as they were about to give up, they saw the movement in the shadows. Tiana and Charlotte clutched each other's hands. Tiana's heart was beating so fast she could feel it in her toes. She'd never been spooked. The ghost moved into the light. Tiana let out a big sigh of relief and then started laughing. The ghost was just a bunch of kids. Tiana stepped out of her hiding place, surprising the kids. Sorry, Miss Tiana, one of them said nervously. Trick or treat, said another one. We were just really hungry, said a third. Well, then come on in, Tiana said, smiling. I've got a big Halloween party going, and you're all invited. Really? The first kid asked, her eyes gone wide. Sure, Tiana said. After all this trick deserves a good treat. And that's the first story of the 5-minute Halloween stories of the Disney. Stay tuned, kids. I plan on reading almost every single story because I paid a lot of money for this book. And I know that you're going to enjoy it. So that's to all my ghouls and goblins that my trick or treat this year to you. So don't go nowhere because we're going to read more of this probably tomorrow night. So 2 more stories at least out of this book. So we'll have fun and we'll have a happy howling Halloween. Love y'all.